Hey guys, how are you?
Hello. I'm
Good.
great. Thanks for
Good.
coming on.
Do you remember the first time you had fans
Mhm.
kind of come up to you and talk about, hey, Rain is you're my favorite player, and I
Mhm.
love the way you play.
Mhm.
How was your first reactions to that?
I mean, it definitely felt really good. I would say it gave me a lot of like courage, but sadly, I think most of the part at the beginning was a lot of like criticism because at the beginning I was like playing too well, but as I like play well and getting those fans and meeting the fans that encourages me, like it really did like help me as a player to like have more energy and more like going.
How did you overcome the criticism?
It was very tough. I don't think I managed it very well at the beginning. Because like when I first like stopped playing, I was like really young. I think I started playing when I was like high school, and
Yeah.
I remember myself like not dealing with the criticism well. Like I remember like myself like crying in the restroom like multiple times when I was young, like a long time ago. But as a time go, I just like also realized that like community sometimes it gives you like criticism, but also it gives you a lot of like courage, encouragement.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh, if I have some bad performance, I just like try to not like look too much at the community. But when when I'm like performing well, I look at community and get a lot of encouragement and use that as like my energy source. Like I guess like those kind of part.
Sure.
It's definitely a convenient option is that you can choose when to partake and when not to. And that's the thing everyone has to learn is like, when am I going to read the comments? Do I want to read the replies on this one? If you start playing badly, are you actively worried about what people are going to say? Or are you more just worried about your own performance? Like, does it sit in the back of your mind like, oh, people are going to be mean to me today because I played poorly? Is that an added pressure while you're playing?
I would say it was like sometimes and sometimes not because when I first started, I didn't like know anything about the scene, so I pretty much didn't have any of those thoughts going on. But I guess as like having some experience, I knew there's like a community, like criticism or encouragement. So I would say at the beginning none, and as I play early of the time, I was actually thinking about it even like as I was like playing the game, like oh I really like ruined the play here. Oh man, this is like really bad.
When you get asked to be the coach of a big team, what was the first kind of thoughts that you had kind of getting that nod to say, we want you to go from being a player to now being a coach of other folks?
I mean, I think it's definitely a lot of pressure, but I also had pretty good amount of confidence because I have been in this scene for a long time. Didn't like expect too much of like a confusion going into the job, and I also like had enough like experience of like because like basically like this year it's not my first year of head coach actually. I was in Cloud9 coaching academy team as a head coach. So that experience probably give me like more confidence going on, and I do believe that I would be doing well from upcoming years. So I was coming in with a pretty good amount of confidence.
Do you see the players that you're coaching right now? Do you see them having the same experiences you had of being like heartbroken after a match?
No, I would say not at all. I think our player is very strong mentally, and also we haven't really experienced that much of like a hard loss yet as a team. So I would say we didn't really get to have those moments yet.
Sure.
But I think our players are having like really strong mental. I think everyone's dealing with any like criticism or social stuff really well.
Do you have any plans for if you, not to jinx it, I hope that nothing bad happens, but if you do have that big loss, like, do you have any plans as coach for like, if your players do lose, how are you going to talk to them about that? How are you going to grow from that experience? Like, is that something that you actively think about, or are you just in the mindset of, let's just win?
Our team, I would say we're in like a really good spot dealing with losses because whenever we lose, everyone has like a good mindset and everyone is able to like talk about like their mistakes about the game without like someone forcing to say it or someone like encouraging to say it. And then as a team, like we try to take all the losses as like opportunity to grow as a team. So whenever like we're doing like a review about the game, we're very open to each other and we're very like direct to each other, I would say. So we're able to like get to the important points really fast, and no one is having like too much of a problem with it. So I would say we're in a pretty good spot about like dealing with losses.
I mean, I think that's such a big part of what we're talking about with the show, obviously, what findyourwords.org is talking about, and in general, what you're talking about as a coach, right? And it's talking to each other. It's communication. I think, you were talking about it earlier, Rain, of, getting this criticism and taking it all in and not knowing what to do with that. Reignover, once again, congratulations on the mid-season showdown.
Thank you.
My question for you is this. You have this big win last weekend. What do you do to keep the team focused, and how do you keep them on a healthy path to the next one?
after that, after the final, has been not like looking League of Legends for like few days, like at all. Like the more I like have been like working and like playing in this like professional scene, I feel like the break is like really important. Sometimes like even more important than everything. So I would say just like first few days, just like completely resting. I'm still not able to do it. Actually, I don't think like the guys are going to be able to do it. But just like taking like a full complete break and then reset, and then our schedule is not like fully updated yet, but we're planning to like start practicing next week, I assume. And from there, like we just have to like talk about the game, start talking about the game, start playing the game. You know, there's a lot of patches that we have to catch up. So there's like a lot of works to do, but like right now, just like take a good break so that we can like bounce back like even harder, like with more energy.
It's important for everything. Take breaks. You gotta get your sleep, or you can't function. You gotta take breaks from work. Like, yeah, it's a thing that I have to pay a lot more attention to. Khalif and I were just talking about this in Twitter DMs like 2 days ago. It's like how to stop working. It's a struggle. Dude, but it is really important, or the work gets worse.
You talk about growth, right? And that has been a thing for me, I would say, this last year, of getting to that point in the night where it's like, cool, my wife's gonna go to bed, and it's like, all right, cool, I can stay awake and play games for another 2 hours, but I was nodding off during this movie, like I should stop. Like, and I'm cranky and I'm just being a jerk. Like, just go to bed. Like, don't even, you know what I mean? I understand you want to play games, you got to stop, you got to go do this, you got to try to be a productive member of society. Reignover, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you guys.
Every other Thursday, we are on twitch.tv/Cloud9 talking about mental health in the gaming space. If you miss it, you can catch it later on the Cloud9 YouTube channel. Of course, if you ever need help or just resources to help someone else, you can go to findyourwords.org. It's an amazing resource. It's a site packed with information on how to help with mental health, little tips and tricks to make your mental health better. And we can't recommend it enough. If you want, you can go to findyourwords.org/presence of mind right now and do the Presence of Mind Mental Health Matters interactive video hosted by the one and only Alana Pierce. Again, you learn some stuff, you see if you understand it, you click on the buttons, and hey, you go through and learn a little bit more. And at the end of it, every time you complete it, you get a 10% discount on the Cloud9 store and a chance to win one of the C9 Secret Lab chairs. Alana, a long time ago in this show, somebody in the chat asked, when do we win the chairs? When do we know? May 27th, it turns out, everybody. So you have quite some time to go over to findyourwords.org/presence of mind. Enter to win there and get going. We will be back in 2 Thursdays. So not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that. Alana, Khalif, as always, thank you for co-hosting this with me.
Of course.
Happy to be
Until
here.
next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.